Are you wondering how long does it take for the family child care consultant to come into your home to do a visit? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you how long it could take for your family child care consultant to come out, how long it could take to open up your family child care program. I'm also going to share with you some tips and some ways how you can make this whole process take away some of that wait time. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. My name is Miranda Edison, and I am a successful family child care provider here in Alabama. I help those who inspire open up a family child care program. I also help those who already have a family child care program but need help with keeping up with those staff records and children record, need help staying up to date on things and keeping everything in order for the licensed state consultant to come out. Now let's go ahead and get to it. How long does it take for the family child care consultant to come out? How long does it take to open? It depends on the state consultant, number one. It depends on whole workload, number one. It depends on also, is there a shortage in staffing when it comes to your state consultant, okay? It's going to depend on where your application is received. You might be number 5 when she receives your application. It may be 4 others that have already submitted an application. So if you're number 5, then you're going to have to wait a little bit. Okay, so it depends on where your application has been received, okay? Also, it depends on if your state consultant, in some cases, they may have to go out and do an emergency visit, which may alter the time for your visit to happen to come to your home. So it really, number 1, depends on your state consultant. Number 2, it depends on you. Yes, you. You also play a key factor in the wait time and the process of your home daycare being open. What do you mean? What I mean by that is when it comes to your application and submitting everything that is required, it is important that you complete all the requirements and submit everything in at one time. So what happens, for an example, let's say on your application, you don't understand what number 2, number 4 means, so you just don't complete it. You submit it in. So what happens is when your state consultant looks at your application, you didn't complete 2 of the questions, you left it blank, then your state consultant now has to send it back to you, which could take 2 to 3, 4 more days. And if it's a holiday, it could take longer because the holiday does take long. If it's a state holiday, it's going to take longer. So this makes the time longer when you don't understand how to complete the application, or maybe you didn't complete 2 of the questions on the application. So in some cases, the state consultant in Alabama, they want you to complete everything and be detailed. So if it does not apply, put in A. Okay, just put in A. So you want to make sure that you complete all of the requirements that is needed. This helps speed up the whole process of your state consultant looking at the application and determining if she can come to your home or not. Because your state consultant cannot come into your home until all the requirements have been met. And so it's important to understand, number 1, what the requirements are, and making sure that you get an understanding, you complete all of those requirements. I've also shared in previous videos of how what those requirements are, and that is, have you completed your zoning? Have you got approval from zoning? Have you got approval from zoning? Have you also got approval from the fire marshal? Do you have a TB skin test? Do you have your physical? Have you completed your CPR certification? So you want to make sure that you have the list and that you know what all the requirements are, and you complete all of that and submit it in at one time. So when your state consultant sees that you have everything submitted, guess what? It puts you in perspective of sometimes being bumped up. For an example, your state consultant may have five applications. I'm just giving an example. And if you have completed all the requirements versus number 2, she skipped 3 things on the application. She had to send it back. Well, your application has the potential of being bumped up because you have everything you need. versus the person in number 2 has 3 or 4 things missing from the application, and then she doesn't have CPR certification, she didn't answer 3 questions, she did not complete the policy and procedures handbook. So guess what? She now can look at your application. She now can look at coming to your home because you completed all of the requirements. So it also depends on how fast you complete the requirements with how the state consultant will come to your home. Now, it is important when you submit your application to know who your state consultant is for the area that you live in, the county that you live in. You want to go ahead and find out who the consultant is. You want to make that connection, and you can ask the question, I've submitted my application. How long, what's the estimated time do you think that it will be when you can come into my home? And your state consultant knows, can usually give you an estimate time. It may take 2 to 3 months. It may take next month. It really depends on your state consultant and how quick you have all those requirements in when you submit your application. Okay, so that is very important. So call your state consultant and say, hey, is there anything else I need to do? And if you don't have understanding on something, call your consultant and get an understanding, okay? Now, I've shared with you how long it takes. I've shared with you tips in this video on how you can help the transition be easy. There really is no definite time with the length of time, how long it could take for your consultant to come out. It depends on the consultant. It depends on you. Now, I would say this, it could take up to 2 months. It could take up to 3 months. It depends on you and the consultant and the consultant's workload. For me, it took me 3 months to open because I opened during the pandemic. And because of that, they were not really going out into the homes. And so it took a longer time for my state consultant to come out. But I made sure I stayed in connection with my state consultant so that I would know what was going on. So I say that it could take up to 2 months. It could take up to 3 months. It could take up to, it just depends on your state consultant. It also depends on you meeting those requirements. Now, I also have a checklist for you that will share with you some things that you need when opening up your home daycare. Go ahead and take advantage of that free checklist. Also, in the next video, I'm so excited. I will be sharing with you budgeting. I'll be sharing with you about money when it comes to family child care program. So until next time, bye-bye.